All right, folks, I am Tom Downey. Go follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingOn. If you guys like highlights, I tweet them out throughout the evening here. Let's focus in now on some Cowboys grades versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nothing on Zeke. Don't worry about that stuff there. The Cowboys offense. We'll start with them here. That was pretty gross, guys. That was real gross. I give it a D-. They had one play. Jalen Guyton's play. That was all the Cowboys had on offense. Not a couple of read options, a couple of decent runs there. That's it. That was all the Cowboys were able to do. The 15 points came on a pick six. 239 through the air, that's cool. 69 of those yards, literally a quarter of the Cowboys' production tonight came from one Jalen Guyton. Who, by the way, I will make note, Guyton does get an A from me, even though the Bucs defense just forgot how to tackle on that play. Defense forgot how to tackle there. So Guyton saves it from being an F, frankly. He gets a good grade. I think he could be a practice squad guy, depending on how John Vay Johnson injury ends up checking out, because I don't know where he's at. He had a shoulder issue. Maybe he's an IR stash. We'll find out here in a couple of days. But Guyton was the Cowboys' offense tonight, plain and simple. All right, defense time here. The Cowboys' defense. I was pretty impressed. I give it a B+. A couple of third downs got him into trouble. But here's the thing that I like from the Cowboys preseason. Hopefully carries over into the regular season. Takeaways. That's the key thing there for the Cowboys. They only allowed 217 yards. Problem was the Cowboys offense backed them up on one of those touchdown drives. They were already inside the red zone at that point. 3 takeaways. Overall, though, folks, I was impressed by the Cowboys defense. It definitely favors defense. Week 4 of the preseason does, because offensive line plays trash. Was the case for the Cowboys tonight, the Bucs offensive line as well. But the defense, they did exactly what they were supposed to do for the most part here. All right, guys, make sure you have notifications turned on. Be the first to comment and watch. Maybe sometimes we'll throw random accidental live videos up for you guys, or we'll go live at like midnight on a Thursday night here, because I have no life, and that's really not ideal. My wife's not happy with that I'm still out right now. But hey, Cowboys come first. So make sure you got notifications turned on here on the Cowboys Report. Special teams now. No Brett Maher. No Chris Jones. Gets a D. Like, you missed an extra point, Casey Redfern, and your field goal was ugly. Like, it was absolutely ugly. Like, it was not a good showing there. The punting was fine. The return game was pretty mediocre. You miss an extra point, that's an automatic D grade from me. All right, let's talk players now. Let's move to Daniel Wise, who, by the way, guys, he was awesome tonight. I was so impressed by Daniel Wise. A+ grade from me. I thought he was fantastic. Now, make no mistake. You're playing against future insurance salesmen. Like, those offensive linemen, they ain't making the team. They were terrible, really, for the Cowboys and for the Bucs. But look, he was all over the field. 6 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, a couple of hurries. He could have had 3 sacks if he had finished it if it wasn't for a penalty, or 4 sacks. Like, I'll make note, too, by the way, Daniel Wise got some reps over Jalen Jelkstein. He played both defensive end and defensive tackle. The big question for me now, after a very dominant, even if it is week 4 of the preseason showing, is Daniel Wise going to make this roster? In my initial 53-man roster projection, I had thought you could sneak Daniel Wise onto the practice squad. He didn't make a ton of plays in the first 3 games, some good flashes there. My question, though, is can you get him there? Like, I think in general, we think far too often every player is going to get claimed, like, by another team. That's how we always seem to operate. You can get by 90% of the guys there, but Daniel Wise right now is the guy I am most concerned about. So should Daniel make the 53-man roster? Oh, I didn't make a damn Daniel joke. Bad on me. All right, type Y for yes, N for no. Daniel Wise make the 53-man roster. I see some yeses coming in here. Let me throw an idea at you, because I don't think you can cut Daniel Wise. So that gives you 2 options. Trade him and get instant return on your investment, kind of like they did with Travarius Ward there, or do you put him on the 53-man roster? I am a big fan of Daniel Wise. I had a 4th round grade on him. I am told the Cowboys had a similar grade on him as well. You saw why tonight. What if you did this? I see some of you saying Daniel Wise over Joe Jackson. What if you put Daniel Wise on the 53-man roster and you trade Taco? What do you guys think about that? Let me know. That's just an idea, because Taco, I think, might fetch you the most return right now, who, by the way, did not play tonight. All right, Trysten Hill, next up. I saw some of you guys mention him. He gets an MIA grade, because where's Trysten Hill? He ain't making an impact, guys. And look, I know it's the preseason, right? But Trysten Hill, a 2nd-round pick, really should be the one with 2 sacks and 3 tackles for loss, not an undrafted free agent. I know they played different positions tonight. Trysten Hill got to make plays, man. Like, with Malik Collins there, Tyrone Crawford there, Antoine Woods, heck, Chris Covington's looked better than Trysten Hill. We'll get his player cut up there in just a second for you guys, not Daniel Wise. But, like, Hill's got to make plays. I know he was always a project development type guy, but you normally want your 2nd-round pick to contribute in year 1. I don't know if he's going to right now. He has got to be a better impact player for you. It's been a disappointing preseason for Trysten Hill. There's no way about it. Now, it is not the end of the world. Hope I'm not indicating that. But I am very disappointed with Trysten's play. He flashed a little bit. I think it was week 3 and a little bit in week 2, but got to make more plays there, Trysten. So how disappointed are you guys in Trysten Hill preseason? Grade on a scale of 1 to 10. Number 1, I'm not worried at all. He was great. I'm delusional. Number 10, you're freaking out and you think the Cowboys should bail on him right now. I am more of the 7 type. Like, I am very disappointed by Trysten Hill, but I'm not going to freak out and worry too much about that quite yet. All right, Justin Phillips. This one, I just want to make a note here because I'm giving him an A. And I meant to tweet this out, and I did not, so I'll do it here for you guys. First breaking news here instead of my opinion, I should say. Some NFL players just got to give them a chance. Like, they never got the chance, whatever. That is Justin Phillips to a T. This is a guy, Chris Collinsworth. Here's a guy who got cut after OTAs. The Cowboys watched him in OTAs and said, we don't need him. Then there are injuries at linebacker. Sean Lee gets hurt. Andrew Dow gets hurt. Cowboys say, we'll just bring in somebody who we've seen play before. They add Justin Phillips. Then Luke Gifford gets hurt too. And now Justin Phillips has made a legitimate case to be on the 53-man roster. You kind of got, I think, 2 spots for Justin Phillips, Christian Covington, and Luke Gifford. Now, I think Gifford takes priority over those 2 because we've seen the highest of Gifford there. Phillips has made things very difficult on the coaching staff, which is a good problem to have. Now, I still believe you can sneak Phillips through to the practice squad. He was unsigned for like a couple of months ago, back in July. So, I know many of you want Phillips on the roster. I will make note the Cowboys did spend a 6th-round pick on Chris Covington last year. He did have an injury this year. But which player are you most worried about losing if he's cut on 53-man roster cuts? Maybe it's Justin Phillips. For me, it's Daniel Wise right now. Maybe it's Jalen Jelks. Your linebacker depth chart here, look, overall, just briefly mention this as I see the comments flow in. You're keeping Lee and Joe Thomas, of course, and LVE and Jalen Smith. I think Justin March is pretty locked in as your 5th linebacker because special teams value there. That 6th spot, I don't think they carry 7. Maybe they do carry 7 if Gifford's on IR to start the year. But Gifford and Covington and Phillips, that's a tough battle. That's a good problem to have on that front. All right, Donovan Olumba. Next up here, a B+ grade from me. I love the pick 6, right place, right time, great ball skills to return it for a touchdown there. Did give up, I think it was a couple of receptions. I'll track the numbers tomorrow, or I guess it's basically midnight now. So this morning, I'll track the numbers once I have time. Olumba, though, I want him on the roster. Now, CJ Goodwin did not play tonight. That's an indication to me, unless there's an injury I'm not aware of, Goodwin's on this team. Just like Jameis Lawali. He's going to be a key special teamer. I say go 6 deep at cornerback. Keep Donovan Olumba. Don't gamble on a practice squad issue because teams always need cornerbacks. And you're wondering, but Tom, what does that mean for Mike Jackson? I'll tell you what, Mike Jackson, he ain't making this team, guys. He's not healthy. I think he's either going to be a practice squad because they've hit him the past 3 games, but he's been banged up. So maybe on that front, you just IR stash him and give him the old Cedric Wilson treatment. I think that makes a lot of sense there. Big fan of Donovan Olumba overall. I want him on this team. I absolutely want him on this team. I also want to briefly shout out Mark here for his super chat, watching from Hawaii. Not that late for you. I appreciate it there. So thank you for that super chat, my friend. All right, Donovan Wilson next up here. He gets an A with an asterisk. Namely, as I'm sure many of you saw, you do if you follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, Donovan Wilson left tonight's game with an ankle injury. He went back to get he went back to get x-rays on it. As of this point, as we sit here at like midnight Thursday, filming this live for you guys, I have not heard an update yet on Donovan Wilson. Hopefully he's okay. I'm not going to panic yet. There's no reason to. But he's a lock to make this roster. There's no way you're cutting Donovan Wilson unless you're just being stupid. There have been too many plays by Donovan Wilson to justify cutting him. You have to keep him. And remember I mentioned Justin Phillips just needs a chance? I don't know if the Cowboys are going to give it to Donovan Wilson. In week 1, I think that's still Jeff Heath. But let's say Jeff Heath gets banged up. I am putting Wilson in before Kevon Frazier. And I tried to caution the hype train around Wilson early on because I know some of you Texas A&M fans, he definitely made some plays, was clearly worth drafting overall. But the success rate of 6th-round picks is really, really low. But especially at safety, like there's nobody. It's Xavier Woods and nobody the past like 5 years. The Cowboys might have done it again. I am super impressed by Donovan Wilson because he makes plays. I need playmakers. He didn't make a ton the past 2 years that he was in 2015, 16, whatever year it was at A&M. Super impressed by Donovan Wilson. He's making this roster. Cowboys might just have struck gold again in the late rounds. All right, the last grade here for me tonight, that is Taryn Christion. I give him a C+. Some promising stuff, better than Mike White. That's your starting point right there. But I'm also not going to rapidly hype up Christion because there's no reason to. He made some nice plays, right? He showed some good running ability, evaded the pocket very well. He fits that Cowboys third-string offensive line so much better than Mike White did. But there were definitely some flaws in Christion's game that we saw tonight. That brutal fumble when it got him in the red zone, killer. He had the nice touchdown pass to Jalen Guyton, but also that was all Jalen Guyton. So he put the ball in a good spot there, but he got a lot of yards to catch there. Here are my overall takeaway with Taryn Christion, which is much what I saw coming out. In terms of the negative, then we'll go positive. How about that? He's just not a backup NFL quarterback guy. He's just not who he is, at least right now. He's not accurate enough. Look, the ball tends to really miss at times, kind of ugly there. But for Christion, my biggest point is there is a role for him, and I want to focus on the positive here. There is a role for him on this team. It is as the new Woody Dantzler, the new Jamil Showers. Mike White, gotta go. I don't think Christion or White are the answer at quarterback in terms of the backup, let alone the starter. But think about how you can use the practice squad player. You want him for special teams. You want him on the scout team. Who's more valuable as a scout team quarterback? The running quarterback, Taryn Christion, who can, if you happen to play a mobile quarterback, can duplicate that far better than Mike White can, and who you can use on legitimately, potentially, in maybe a couple of weeks or months, all 3 phases like you did Jamil Showers. That's got a lot more value for me than the practice squad side of things here. Also, one note here on Donovan Wilson, just got the text. Sounds like he'll be able to practice next week. So get rid of the asterisks in the end here. A. So good news there on Donovan Wilson. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.